I'm waiting for Facebook to catch up. So if I'm already live, I can't quite tell because I'm getting the gyration going. So here we go. All right. Welcome. This is Table Talk Thursdays. Facebook is trying to figure out what it wants to do. Here we go. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm not really sure what that was all about. All right. Sorry, guys. Hi. Welcome. So sorry. Facebook beta tests so many different things. They shifted something that I couldn't see before I started my live. And as I started my live, as soon as it went live, it showed me the options. So I took a moment to take a look at that. So sorry, guys. How are all of you? Welcome to Table Talk Thursdays. This is open Q&A tonight. Whatever questions you may have, whatever topics, go ahead and hit me up on those, because this live is all about, hey Natalie, how are you? It's all about answering your general questions about spirituality, metaphysical things, psychic ability, whatever. Hi Carol, how are you? Whatever subject you want to ask a question about, go ahead and do that. Now, just to be clear, since some of you do know that I do a mini psychic reading lives, but that's not what tonight is. Tonight I do, like I said, Table Talk Thursdays, and that's every Thursday, 6 p.m. Arizona time. So I do this, like I said, my team and I really created this to help all of you. So tonight it's about you asking me questions. Now, I'm not going to necessarily just talk at you. You know how I am with these Table Talk Thursdays. I want a lot of interaction. That's half the fun. Guys, ask me your questions. Give me your stories and experiences. Let me know what you want to ask me a question. That's what we're here for tonight. Tonight is open Q&A. Normally, I do it on the third Thursday of every month. And of course, we've had a lot of changes. August has been turned upside down for me personally. This is my first time back on in 3 weeks. So that's why I chose open Q&A for tonight. So hello, Tracy Grant. Welcome. Your first time here. Nice to have you here. Hello, Jen. Are you guys really going to be shy about all of this? Okay, Natalie and Jen, I'm going to rely on you two. You're like, ooh, why did we say we were here, right? Guys, ask me a question. Ask me a question, whatever you want to know about anything. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Welcome. All right, I'm going to start talking. Hey, Michelle, I'm going to start talking a little bit about spirituality then. None of you have asked me a question yet, which is fine. And so once you guys get over your shyness, just drop the question in the comments, all right? Let's talk a little bit about spirituality and what it means, at least from my perspective, all right? And by the way, Michelle, yes, unfortunately, my August went upside down, and I was off. It's been this is 3 weeks about. Finally I'm getting back on. Long story. Don't have to go through it. The story it is. But I had to move. Had a flood in my apartment. Had to move. Everything was crazy. The flooding happened for 10 days. Anyhow, that's why, Michelle, you haven't seen me. But I'm back. Woo! All right. How do you know you were going through a new beginning? Natalie. Hey, Cassie. How are you? Give me a second, Cassie. Hi, Will. How are you? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Oh, by the way, before I answer Natalie's question, you guys, go ahead, share this out on your timeline publicly. Go ahead and put it into groups, share it into groups. Also, tag people in the comments. Have them come on over to the live. Let them learn and take advantage of everything I have to offer. And if you are new to me, please remember to follow and like my Elyse Ann Psychic page, all right? So, hey, Tammy, how are you? Welcome. Thank you. So how do you know you're going through a new beginning? There are a lot of different ways you will know. And if you are new to me here too, one of the things you'll know is I'm constantly communicating with my spirit team. So some of the information I give to you today is channeled information too. So Sorry, I saw my hair was sticking out a little bit there. It was a little out. Anyhow, Cassie Perry. Natalie, give me a second. I'll answer that. Cassie Perry, you have a question. Should you move? Okay, Cassie, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you will stay with us. Tonight is Table Talk Thursdays, darling. That is an open, interactive forum. Tonight we're doing open Q&A. It's not about doing readings, though. My Psychic Mini reading lives I do every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Arizona time. I also do last-minute ones. So make sure if you're new to me, or even if you're not new to me, make sure you're following and liking my Elyse Ann Psychic page and that your notifications are set to favorites. And I can tell you, some of you who think you followed and liked me, Facebook for some reason isn't showing it. So just double check that you have. All right, so hi, Opal. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. Hello, Tracy. Okay, Tracy, we can talk about that as a generality. I'll answer that question. Absolutely. Okay, so how do you know you're going through a new beginning? You know, usually there's huge transformation. Usually there's a huge change, either in your physical circumstances, your physical environment. Like, let's use my example, I guess, with my flooding in the apartment starting August 9th. And it happened every night. I lived like that for 10 days. It was insanity. We all thought it would be fixed by the next plumber. It never happened. So finally I had to move. And it's traumatic and exhausting and tough that was for me to do. I am slowly getting to turn around here and say, okay, Elyse, you know this was a reset. So sometimes it's these big events, all right? Sometimes you may see that people react to you differently. There's a lot of different ways, Natalie, that you can know you're going through a new beginning. Just always remember, and my spirit team's telling me this, not only for you, Natalie, but of course for everyone. Remember that when we embark on a journey of healing, that we're usually moving towards a new beginning. So as we heal, that's going to bring in and trigger a new beginning also. So hopefully that helped you with that. Thank you, Tammy, to share. Thank you, Tony. Hi, Carissa. Thank you, Ford and Natalie, for sharing also. Tammy, sweetheart, I think you heard me say tonight is not psychic mini readings, but I hope you'll stay. We're going to talk about whatever general topic questions you may have. So let me see here. Somebody asked me, how will I know if my mother is with me? And Tracy, I am so sorry for your loss. I know it was a long time ago, but still, I'm very sorry for your loss, darling. You know, there's a lot of different ways that our loved ones from the other side communicate with us. They will sometimes, there's all kinds of ways. Okay, they leave feathers, they leave coins. I know those from on the other side will do things. They'll mess with electronics like TVs, lighting. My father did that after he passed. He messed around with the bathroom lighting and freaked me out. Okay, so anyhow, they also sometimes what they'll do too is, let's say you have a favorite song, okay, that might come on the radio. Or you'll see, you'll have maybe a picture. I know that people have said, hey, you know, I had a picture on the wall, and picture on the wall, fall off the wall or fall off the shelf. One of the ways, though, too, that they do it, and I know my father did this also after he passed, and I laugh every time. I love you, Dad. Because the story is this. My father, after he passed, when I was walking through the living room, my father was known for his, how do I put this kindly, odoriferous shoes. How's that? Yes. So I was walking through the living room after he had passed, and I walked by the couch, and I got that smell so clearly. And I was like, okay, Dad, I know you're here. So they'll do things like that through smells that will remind you of them. So that is also ways. Michelle says knocking. Absolutely. There are all different ways that those that have crossed over will communicate with us. And one of the things I want to suggest to any and all of you, I believe we did talk about how loved ones communicate with us in one of the past Table Talk Thursdays. So I invite each and every one of you. Every live I do is posted on my page, and there's also a video. There's across the top you have different choices, and one I think is more, and it drops down, and in there says videos. And I've labeled all my Table Talk Thursdays with the topic first. At least that's the way it should be. Hopefully I didn't miss any. So I invite each and every one of you, is there a certain topic that you're hoping maybe I covered already? Go ahead and check it out. Or if there's a topic you want to know about, go ahead and drop it in the comments, because even if I've covered it already, sometimes, maybe you weren't on the live and other people weren't on the live, and you never know when I'll go back to a certain topic and we'll discuss it again. So go ahead and let me know that too. All right. Very, very cool. All right. You're welcome, Tracy. Let's see. So, Carol, I seem to be in the place of major endings as well, Elyse. Yeah, it's really an interesting ride. That's all I want to say about it right now. I'm still in the midst of it, guys. So, I'm still got to get kind of on the other end of it. Close, but not quite there. So, anyhow, let's see. Michelle says, when I had a spiritual awakening on our anniversary, I became very clairaudient. My senses heightened a lot, but it toned down. Yes, that is very cool. That spiritual awakening, yeah, but it toned down, and that's okay. But you can work with your team, Michelle, if you're choosing to, and that's for anybody. If you have a psychic, one of the clairs or what have we, and you're working with it. Now, first of all, I privately one-on-one sessions, I help people also to develop their abilities, but you can also work with your team and set certain things up if, you want it on or you want it off, things like that. But very, very cool. And Spirit will shift that around sometimes. Like for myself, I used to be extremely clairvoyant, and I still very much am. However, my clairaudience over the years has developed more and more and more. And so, just go with it is really what I'm trying to say when it comes to that, because that's what Spirit does, and sometimes there are reasons for those abilities to shift in other directions. So don't get discouraged if for some reason one of your clairs goes away or dims down, if you will. It doesn't mean that it won't come back. And also, remember that everybody has their clairs, gets their information in different ways. And one of the things that's coming to me, and the reason I'm bringing this up, is I have heard that... Hi, Dale. How are you? Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, right. So just remember that I've run into clients that have gotten very upset, like, I can only hear, like, I only have clairaudience, but my friend, they can see. They got clairvoyance, and I can't, and I'm really frustrated, and I want to. And the thing that I encourage everyone in that situation is to embrace the clair or clairs that you do have, or that you are experiencing. And just leave the door open for the others to develop if that's what you want. Or, like I said, you can work with someone, you can work with your spirit team. I work with my clients on that too some. So it's to embrace the way you receive it, because Spirit does choose the most optimal way to communicate according to that person. How are you going to be most open to receiving? How are you going to be receiving it with the most clarity? Things like that. So just embrace what it is. Don't be upset if you can't, you only hear but you can't see. You may someday, but even if you don't, It doesn't mean you're less than or missing or less connected or less accurate or less talented, whatever it is. Don't take it that way. That's the most important thing, because I have dealt with a lot of people that get very disappointed. And, you know, we have to trust spirit. Well, we don't have to. However, spiritually, we may want to do that. Sorry, guys, I'm adjusting this a little bit there. That's better. I like that better. All right, I'm still getting used to my space and everything. Of course, you know, I don't have my tapestry up either. I'm hoping by next week, but we'll see. So it's a white wall behind me right now. But anyhow, so just embrace it for what it is. All right, so let me see here. Tony, animals that hang around. My mother comes as a hummingbird or dragonfly. My dad comes to visit as a wren, typically. Awesome. Thank you for that, Tony. Absolutely, absolutely. I actually have a friend whose father had passed away, and she has shared with me that before he passed away, he let them know that deer will appear when he's around. And she has told me many stories of when the deer has shown up. So, yes, they do. They come in all different forms and shapes. Thank you for that reminder. That's another way that those that have crossed over will come in as. And I know I'm about a few minutes behind here, but I'm catching up to all the comments. So here we go. Let's see. Michelle says, it's like a roller coaster. It comes in waves to me. I see a lot of synchronicity in numbers. Awesome. I like that. Yeah, it can be a roller coaster here, there, up, down. Okay. That's, you know, Michelle, the biggest thing is to embrace it. Right. It comes in waves to me. I see a lot of synchronicity in numbers. Just embrace it. Whatever it is for you, embrace it. Excuse me. I think I forgot my water, and I thought maybe I had a water bottle here. I don't. That's okay. So, Krista says it was a full moon, too. That's true. Charming Charm Doll. Well, hello, Kelly. How are you? So let's see. How do I connect with my spiritual guides? Hey, Jeanette, give me a second. Charming, we will get into that. Let me just catch up a little bit past that here. Let me just see if I am. Jamie says, honey, I love your topics on Thursdays, and I thank you for your time. Silly me, I thought it was Friday, LOL. No problem, darling. I'm glad you're here. It's every Thursday, 6 p.m. Arizona time. All right, let me see here. Isn't this interesting? I think I am. Oh, no, I'm catching up. All right. Thought I kind of jumping around a little bit. Okay, let me just go back to where I was. I'm on my tablet, guys, because sometimes Facebook is just a joy. And I'll see things on my comments on my tablet that aren't on a laptop, and vice versa. So I try to utilize it all. Anyhow, and by the way, this goes for about an hour. So go ahead, keep inviting your friends, tag them. You know, let them know that this is here and available, and it's for all of your purposes. You know what you want to know about. So how do I connect with my spiritual guides? Wow, there are a lot of different ways. I'll give you some kind of umbrella basics here, you know, an overarching basics. You know, Charm Doll, first of all, and for everyone, of course, connecting with your spirit guides. Really, the best thing to do is to get into your quiet space. You know, it's funny because I say this almost every time. Meditation for me is kind of a funny word. A lot of people love it, but those that don't kind of are turned off of it, because I think they have this concept that it's chanting and it's the Om, and you just got to sit there for half an hour, and you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but it's just getting in a quiet space, clear your mind, and then asking to connect with them. I would call them in. Make sure you call the highest vibrational beings, your spirit guides. I would have Archangel Michael come in also, just to be your protector and shielder, just since I don't know how advanced you are in this, but when we open up to energy, we want to just make sure that we're shielded. All right. And one of the biggest things that is coming to me now, I think I mentioned this earlier, as I do this, I am answering, of course, from my brain, but then at the same time, my spirit team's always in communication with me. So some of this information is coming from them. They'll say, oh, mention this, or what about this? And so anyhow, The thing with this is quiet space can be just something as simplistic as sitting for 5 minutes and just focusing on your breathing. The whole idea is to clear the mind so you can make your connection. All right. Oh, that was the other thing. Yes. One of the things I want to mention when it comes to connecting in with any energies, okay? One of the things is, and I had this experience many years ago, and this is why I bring it up, because it's very eye-opening for me. If, let's say, a being shows up and starts to communicate with you, and you're not sure who this being is, ask them, who are you? Don't say, oh, are you my spirit guide? Don't give them who you think they are. Let them answer you. Because I had a situation once. Now, you got to remember, I'm different. This was a time I was really opening up to the energy so I could do this work. So I was in the deep dive, okay? But I had an energy come in, and instead of saying, who are you? I said, oh, are you my spirit guide? And I gave him a name. And they said, oh, yes. So I trusted that energy. It took me about 30 seconds to realize it wasn't the energy that it said it was. And I learned from that. Never say, oh, are you so-and-so? Or are you, say, who are you? Okay, really important piece. It may not seem it to you, but I'm going to tell you. Okay, I've been doing this professionally for 20 years. And the one thing about energy is when we open up to energy, we open up to all types of energy. And that's why I do my work every day to set up my boundaries and my perimeters so I'm connecting with the highest vibrational beings. Look, there's all kinds of energy. I don't give that lower vibration any thought, but I also want to make sure that I'm not allowing it in either. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Let's see. Let me go here. Michelle, you say, yes, I'm working on my mediumship. Very, very cool. Well, if you want some help with that, if you'd like to do a private one-on-one session, hit me up. Go check out my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. By the way, this is a little off topic, but I want to remember to mention this because with my life having been what it is, I have not really promoted this. But September 10th at 4 p.m., Arizona time, or same Pacific Standard Time, I'm bringing back my Zoom gallery-style psychic reading event. So September 10th is only $25. It's a steal. And basically it is through Zoom, and it's a small intimate group of no more than 8, and I open up with a channeled message for all, and then you each individually get your readings in the gallery, and then I close with a channeled message. The beauty of all this is, why would you want to do that? Because it's such a small and intimate group. There's usually some very common threads that are running through the readings, and so not only will you get a lot from your own reading, but hopefully you'll get a lot from the other readings also. So it's almost like getting an hour and a half reading in some ways. I'm not saying you're going to, everything is going to resonate with you, but you're going to get a lot of information. And being such an intimate group, we're very supportive of each other. It's just beautiful energy. So go to my website on my events, check it out. Go ahead and reserve your spot. Once the 8 are sold, that's it. It's closed for the month. So make sure it's only a week. I know September 10th seems like, it's so far away. It's only 2 weeks away, guys. So go ahead, make sure you start thinking about that and reserve your spot. All right? Okay, so let's see. Empath can be very difficult. Okay, so let's see. Empath can be very difficult. Yes, it can, Michelle. I am an empath. Oops, I'm messing with my necklace so much I almost got a caught. Okay, I'm an empath too, yes. Learning how to manage it is so very important. And the first step is being aware that you are an empath, whoever is, this is, again, I'm addressing everyone. It's recognizing that you are an empath and recognizing that as an empath, you're going to feel and experience all of these feelings and energies about 1,000 times deeper, more intensely than the average person. So when we can start to recognize that and start to discern what's ours and what's not ours and so forth, it helps. But one of the things that it's really important to remember, because I know, I'm an empath in a very difficult time, especially as a child. But this is the thing, that sensitivity is also part of your psychic connection. So feeling the energy that and experiencing it that much more intensely is part of your psychic connection. I'm not saying that you have to stay in that space and experience it 1,000 times intensely all the time. No, it's about managing it, but being aware too that it is a blessing in many ways. That's kind of where I'm trying to get to, because I know for myself at times it was like, whoa, you know. So let's see what Krista says. Being an empath is not a bad thing. There you go. It's actually a wonderful thing because we can feel compassion that other people can't feel. We actually can feel we're not cold. I like that, Carissa. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So Carol says, I'm waiting for consciousness to give us clues for new ways of creating. Do you have any info on that? New ways of creating. Well, I'm not sure what your old ways are. And I'm not sure what you're kind of, you know, what to you is old and new. What I want to, I'm thinking, that's why I'm stopping for a minute, putting my finger on. I'm thinking and I'm also tapping into spirit. What I want to say about that is I think one of the biggest things we have to be really aware of that's a new way of creating is the vibrational frequency of energy is that much quicker. So our thoughts, our words, they're all creating at warp speed. Okay? So the new way of creating is to be even more aware as to what we're putting out there, because it's creating so much quicker and so much more intently, I guess, is intensely is what Spirit wants to say. So that's one of the things to be aware of. And the other thing is remember that as the frequency of the vibrational frequency of this planet we keep ascending, we keep increasing the vibrational frequency. So the Earth is, you know, we're ascending. Okay, the veil gets thinner. Why? Because we're getting, you know, spirit. The white light spirit vibrates in a very high vibration. We're earthly, so we're very dense. However, as the planetary vibrational frequency ascends, we are leveling up. Well, spirit's all the way up here, right? Okay, so we start down here and we're here. Now you can see my hands, right? We're here, but as the vibrational frequency has increased, we're coming closer and closer, right? To spirit. That's why the veil is thinning, you guys. That's why. Because the vibrational frequency of this planet. And it may seem like we are sludging through the sludge and mud and quicksand of all the ugly that's happening. But we are battling for the love and light on this planet. You know, battling is a funny word, but that's kind of the way I feel. That's why we're seeing the ugly so much more. It can be hard sometimes. I know for myself too, and I do this work. It can be hard sometimes to keep that positive vibe going. You know, I'm human too, you guys. I do a lot of spiritual teaching, and you know, I do walk the walk. I talk the talk, but I also walk the walk. But I'm also human. And sometimes when it gets even much more difficult, and I'm going to say this to you right now, what Spirit is having me say to you is as much for me. I really need to hear this, especially after the experiences I've just gone through. It's a reminder for all of us that some of the ugly that we are seeing really is about fighting for love and light for humankind, for all living beings. All right, not just humankind. So, all right, let's see. Let me see. Oops. Wow, you guys are really going at it. Okay, let me jump around a little bit. Give me a second, because I see you guys are way past me. You're warp speeding by me. All right. Okay, I think I said hi to Jeanette. Tony, we're going to come back to your question about why sometimes do a person's senses open up later in life. That's a great question. Dale says, I get a bit of everything going on at times. It's not a bad thing. Okay. Jeanette says, after my dad passed, there suddenly was some small blue birds that started hanging around outside my mom's living room. We had never seen them before this. That's cool. That was your dad. That's so cool. Lori, hi Lori, you do Reiki a lot. That's awesome. Yes, Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher too. Yes, Michelle, you ask who they are. Charming Charm Doll, you are welcome. Great advice. Thank you, Dale. Penny, hello. Love gallery readings. Well, honey, go ahead to ElyseAnnPsychic.com. After this live, go ahead and purchase your seat. Love to have you in on it. All right. Okay, I'm going to... Okay, hey, Amy, how are you? Okay, let me go back up. Let's see, Tony says something. I've been to the group Zoom and love it. Definitely recommend it. That's my husband's birthday, though, so I probably won't be home that evening. Tony, just bring Toby along. Have him join. What better party? Okay, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there, Tony. I love you. All right. Tony and I are friends. Tony's my moderator. Tony and I met about a little over a year ago when I first launched my page, and we've become very, very close friends. So fortunate to have her in my world. What a great support. I have the best besties in the world, you guys. I could not have made it through these 3 weeks without them. Okay, don't go there. I'm going to get emotional. Okay. Why sometimes do a person's senses open up later in life? Okay, because they're ready. And they're aware, and maybe they've worked through societal's, what's the word I'm looking for, kibosh, putting their thumb on all of this. Society tends, when we were born, we were absolutely connected, so connected to God's source, creator, universe, all that energy, and through society's dialect, through society's comments and thoughts about it. It's not, it's getting more mainstream what we do, but there's still a ways to go. And so some people, either they've been brought up in a very religious upbringing, which a lot of religions say that what I do is blasphemous and all kinds of not nice things, but that's okay. That's, what I mean by that's okay. That's okay that they have their opinion. They're entitled to that. So sometimes it's about somebody is ready to leave a religion, to open up to other possibilities. Maybe they had a near-death experience or some other experience that opened their eyes, and they're ready now to see and to explore what's beyond the physical, which is exactly what metaphysical means, is beyond the physical. Sometimes it's again, they're just ready. There comes to a point. I've always been very, very psychic, but it took me a long time to get to the point to do it professionally because I had nobody teaching me. So I had to kind of find my own journey with it. Now, it wasn't that I wasn't open. I was constantly getting information. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't understand things. So it took me a little bit later in life. I had to get out from underneath. I think I started a healing journey way back when, and I think that's what kind of triggered the whole ball game for me. I went on the healing journey along with developing my abilities to do what I do. So hopefully that helps you. All right, let's see. I'm catching up. Here we go. Okay, what Opal asks, what could it mean? I've been dreaming of mom and brother there in spirit world. Okay, well, Opal, I'm glad you asked that. Oh, Dale, do you have to go? I saw somebody saying bye to you. Hold on, honey, where are you going? Have to go back to work. Bye, honey. I'm so glad you joined us, Dale. Thank you, sweetheart. No problem, Carol. Thank you for being part of it tonight. Hopefully you're following and liking my Elyse Ann Psychic page, and your notifications are set at favorites. I'm going to see you on the next Thursday's live also. And any other lives you want to be on during the week. All right. Okay, so let's go back up here. All right, what could it mean? Okay, I've been dreaming of my mom and dad there in spirit world. Okay, is it dreaming or is it a visitation? All right, this is how we know it's an actual visitation. I'm going to backtrack. Let me write that word down, visitation, but I want to backtrack for a minute. What could it mean? It could mean they're trying to get a message to you. They could be doing it through your dreams, not directly coming to you. And that's the difference when it comes to visitation. A visitation is as if they're sitting right in front of you. It's as if they're right there. There's no, it's so real. It's as if you're sitting at the table together or standing next to each other or whatever it is. That's how you know the difference. But most times they come in. Now, I'm not doing a reading on as to why you are specifically opal, but as a generality, they are either coming in to comfort you. That's what I heard Spirit say, comfort. They might have a message. You may be working out some stuff for yourself and missing them. So there are several different reasons why. There are others also, but those are the three that come to the top of my head. So hopefully that helps you. See, saying hello. Hey, Princess Sophia, how are you? Welcome. Glad you're joining us this evening. All right, remember everyone, this starts at 6 p.m. Arizona time now. So just a little reminder, because for the longest time I had it an hour later. So it's 6 p.m. right now. We are the same as Pacific Standard Time right now. All right, don't forget about the Zoom Gallery style psychic reading event. Check out my website. That's in 2 weeks, September 10th. Okay, Penny asks, a tree fell in my house and I always knew it would with me in the house. Why? It was a premonition. It was something your spirit team let you know about as a heads up. So you could possibly avoid being hurt, or possibly they may have been giving that to you as pay attention to the trees around your house. So there are a lot of different reasons why we might know. And sometimes, yeah, it is a heads up. Now, it's whether or not we catch it as a heads up, or is it our own fears coming into play? All right. But lots of times we're going to get a premonition just as a heads up, so we may be able to avoid some uncomfortable situation or what have we. So that's what I'm going to say. And you weren't hurt, were you, Penny? I mean, I'm assuming you weren't. Hopefully, though, I don't know what you absorbed when you first kind of felt that or knew it, but I'm going to say in the future, if anything like that happens, pay attention. And then, like, oh, gee, you always knew a tree was going to fall on your house. Well, then Spirit wanted you maybe to check all the trees around your house and just keep tabs on it, and cut branches off so it doesn't come to it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. So usually it's a heads up, though. All right. So Tony says, oh, that was about the group Zoom and your husband's birthday and tough. Just tell Toby you've got it planned already, his birthday. And then come to the Zoom gallery. Anyhow, just kidding. Jeanette says, I am an empath and sometimes it is so hard. Yes, I had to take my hubby to the hospital. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he's okay. And we had been sitting for 4 hours. Someone came in and there was such pain and crying. Oh my goodness, I started crying and had to get out of there. Okay, Jeanette, very, very important for all of us who are empaths. You're welcome, Opal. Okay, so empaths, we have to learn to shield ourselves and protect ourselves from all that extra energy. And if you have, and I'm not saying it's a surefire magic bullet, but it should help a lot, hopefully. I kind of say it's like the 95% that you can keep from absorbing or being hit by, kind of like throwing up the mosquito netting, the white light bubble. I strongly suggest everybody, even if you're not an empath, but especially for empaths, I would strongly suggest that every morning you step into a bubble of white light. Visualize a bubble of white light, step into it so you're completely surrounded. Like I said, it's like throwing up the mosquito netting. Is it going to keep everything out or from you absorbing or really experiencing? Not necessarily, but it should help you with about 95% of it. Sorry, guys. I've got my feet up. I'm kind of keep slipping in my chair. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to relax a little bit. I've had 7 days of moving like nonstop, so I'm just trying to take care of my legs here. So they're up on the chair. Sorry, I'm all kind of wiggly woggly tonight, I can tell, but that's why. I keep moving around. Anyhow, so Jeanette and everyone else. I hope that helps you. I do that all the time. And I have it set up with my team, so it's not like I have to consciously do it, but I'm going to suggest very strongly all of you should consciously do it. And even though I have it set up with my team, I still re-up it, if you will. So it's important to keep up on that. And then I'm also going to say at the end of the night, once you step out of the white light bubble, I would ask Archangel Michael to come in and he's blue energy, and I would just visualize his blue energy flowing over you, kind of like, shower, waterfall, whatever, and just seeing all that excess and negative energy and all of that, anything that no longer serves you flowing down to Mother Earth to be transmuted. All right. So, hey, Angela Nari, or oh, okay, you're tagging her, Jen. Thank you. I just saw her name and I thought maybe she popped on. All right. So, let's see. Lori says, I lost my dad 5 years ago today, and 1.5 years ago, lost my son who carried on my dad's name, and today was a hard day. I was talking to both of them all day. I'm so sorry for all of your loss, darling. God, I'm chilling all over. Your son's around you a lot. This is not about a reading for you, but when Spirit pushes it through that strongly, I know when I'm supposed to share it anyhow. Your son is around you a lot. Not that your dad is not, but your son's going to keep tabs on you, darling. That's what I'm being told. But I'm so sorry for all of that loss. But hopefully you can take some comfort and solace in knowing that even though they may not physically be here on the earthly plane with us, they're definitely with us at all times through our soul group family connection. All right, sweetheart. All right. I'm sorry you've had such a rough day. So, Amy says, I had a negative experience when I was younger that was very impactful. Later in life, I had a vision of a spiritual battle that happened that night. What would that be considered? Let me reread this. Give me a second. I had a negative experience when I was younger. Okay. I had a vision of spiritual battle. What would that be considered? It's an interesting question, Amy, and why do I say that? Well, of course we know it's not a precognitive or a premonition because it was after the fact. Okay, this is how I'm going to answer. There may be a term or some particular words that describe that. I'm not aware of those words. What I can say to you, though, is it happened, you had a vision of the spiritual battle from that night because you were ready to step into that realm, become more awakened and aware. So, a spiritual awakening, to some degree, maybe those are the words. Hold on, I'm trying to see if Spirit wants to say anything else about this as a generality. You have gotten to a point, Amy, though, that I think, and this is for anybody, where when we get to a certain point and are ready to receive that information, that's when Spirit will open up that door, so to speak. So I think that's what happened for you. It was to bring you some understanding to further you along in your spiritual awakening and spiritual progression. There we go. So spiritual progression, spiritual awakening. Maybe I choose those words. Hope that helps you, sweetheart. Thank you. All right, let's see. Okay, Jen, Elyse, why am I feeling so much pain by what's going on in our world right now? I don't ever watch the news, but right now I am. Could this be a past life thing for me? I think, well, again, it's going to be as a generality, Jen, but okay, what I'm hearing from Spirit is those of us who are on a spiritual path we all are experiencing the world's pain at a deeper level right now. And why is that? I am being told by my spirit team, because we are the warriors, and we are the warriors of love. And to get us into action, to make sure we stay in action, as human beings, we kind of have to keep having the experience, if that makes sense. This is a little bit of a slippery slope, so bear with me, guys, okay? We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and I'm also very much a firm believer that we are human beings having a spiritual experience. I said them opposite, right? Because it's all very real. And as human beings, we can tend to forget about things once it feels, okay, then we don't think we have to deal with it anymore. I mean, a lot of us are like that. It's just human nature. And I think sometimes some of this is not to punish us, but it's to keep us on the front lines. And I think as empaths, we unfortunately, think about this, the pain in this world is intensified like 10,000%. I mean, it is just ugly out there. So those of us that are sensitive to begin with, if it's 10,000 times more intensified out there, well, then we already feel it 1,000 times more intensified, and let's just add the 10,000 times more intensified. And I think that's why a lot of us are feeling the pain. I struggle with it sometimes too. Absolutely. And I have recently, of course, I've been more vulnerable in my personal space, so I'm not as, necessarily have that strength to kind of hold, to hold it out against the, some of this ugly out there. So I get hit with it a little bit more. It's kind of like when we're not feeling well, our immune system is lowered a little bit. It's kind of the same idea. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it's to dark versus light. Dark is screaming, and so there's so much more pain, and we're going to feel that so much more because who we are naturally. Hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Amy says, I had to leave jobs because of my empathic abilities. I'm sorry to hear that, Amy. I do work with my clients on things like that. If you have any interest in that, check out my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. You can do a private session. We can see how we can help you with that. Because I believe that it's manageable. I do. And there's all kinds of things we can do in protections and tools. And when I do these private one-on-ones, it's catered specifically to the person I'm reading for. So I have some general tools, but we also find out from your spirit team and my spirit team together, as they work together, what's going to work for particularly for that person right in front of me. Okay, Jeanette, I know I'm a little behind here. No congestive heart failure. He's home now, but I know the inevitable. All right, Jeanette, we're just going to send a lot of prayers. Call upon Archangel Raphael. That's the Archangel of healing. All right. Okay. Princess Sophia says, is it possible to part ways in this life with a twin flame because we did not get it right and come back in another life to try again? Absolutely. Absolutely. When we contract, I believe in our soul contracts, that we contract the experiences we're going to have. We sign a soul contract before we incarnate. And though we also have free will, free choice. Now, some things are absolute destiny. No matter what we do, it's going to happen. Okay? That's like pretty much set in stone, I almost want to say. However, we do have free will, free choice. How do we get there? Maybe we don't want to complete the lesson, and then we decide, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. So, yes, it's absolutely can come back in another life to try again. Definitely. All right. Kelly says, I've always had a fear of drowning in my car. Is this something that happened in a past life? I'd have dreams about it. All right. So, Kelly, I'm going to answer that as a generality again, not necessarily specifically for you, since, tonight's kind of the general topics. But absolutely it can be a past life. I used to never be claustrophobic, and I became very claustrophobic in my 30s. I do believe it's a past life issue. We do, it's in our cellular DNA. So even though when we reincarnate in this lifetime, we may not have in our mind the memories of past lives, but in our cellular memory, it exists. And absolutely, that's part of the work that I do, because our past lives can definitely create blockages in creating what we want in this lifetime. And that's a lot of work I do, because we're not aware of what it is, what happened in the past life that's still having a major impact on this lifetime. So that's another way I help my clients too. I do a lot of work with that too. But yeah, it can be a past life. It could also possibly be a precognitive. And Kelly, I'm not reading into your particular situation, so please do not take it that way. I'm saying again, this is a general answer to your question, not Kelly's answer to the question. Okay, I just want to make sure you understand that. So but lots of times these things are from past lives. Absolutely. You're welcome, Lori. You're welcome, Amy. Okay, so let me see here. Jen says, I've had a hard time laying my head down on my pillow thinking of our men and women that won't return from Afghanistan. I just don't know why I'm feeling this so hard. Thanks, Elyse. Okay. Jen, the energy on this planet is intensifying, and not necessarily always in all of the best directions. And this is part of why we're feeling it too. Okay? And let's be real. I saw the images of those poor souls on the tarmac in Afghanistan, and this was my reaction. It's horrific. It's heartbreaking. We're human. And some of it is the humanity. And so what we can do, the best we can do, is send love and light and prayers for all those people. And then we have to allow God's will. All right? So sorry, because the whole scene in Afghanistan is very disturbing and upsetting to me too. It's just heartbreaking. I can't even imagine. So, anyhow. All right. Hey, Shayla, welcome. Okay. Let's see. We've got Princess Sophia. I've been fine for months, but of late I feel someone at the side of my wall, and at times I feel afraid. What could it be? Because I'm not a scared person of spirit, I get the sense not to go out my door at certain times. What? Oh, let's see. Are you going to let me read the rest? Okay. Why could this be happening of late? Could it be because I'm not protecting myself enough? Have you saged your living space? Do you have selenite crystals? Those are self-clearing crystals. Any kind of clearing crystals are really great. Selenite is self-clearing, and they're continuously clearing. Those are really good pieces. I would sage. I would call upon the ancestors, your ancestors. And I'm saying yours, but if anybody else is in this situation, call upon your ancestors and ask them to please stand guard. I'd call upon Archangel Michael. I would call in every single tool I have and clear it out. And you also, anytime, guys, you have the right to ask energy to leave. You don't do it with anger. You don't do it with hate. You don't do it in fear. You just do it with a firmness, because spiritual law states, if you've asked an energy to leave, they must leave. Now, it may take several askings, and you may have to invoke Archangel Michael to help clear them out. Sometimes they can be very stubborn. But I would take some tools, Princess Sophia, and try to start clearing out. If you have a brass bowl or any kind of bells, I also do space clearing remotely. So if you're interested, we can go ahead and connect on that. We can do a remote space clearing session. My website again, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. All right. Okay. How can you learn to trust your intuition? Oh, Tammy. That is such a great question, because I have to tell you. Sorry, I'm just catching up here. Okay. Yeah, Opal. Yeah. I tend not to watch the news because of that. It's just too overwhelming. I don't like not knowing, but at the same time, if I'm in this, yeah. Anyhow, how can you learn to trust your intuition? Okay, sweetheart, great question. You got to trust the information to trust the information. It's kind of circular, but one of the things you can do is, when you get this intuition, whatever the message may be, you can say to your team, okay, I received this communication from you. This is what I believe it means. can you set under grace and in a perfect way, make sure you say these words, under grace and in a perfect way, easily and effortlessly, can you send me a clarifying sign or clarification or confirming sign, depending on what you're asking them. And they can do that for you. It's kind of starting to test it out a little bit. And you're going to start to learn how your team communicates with you. Because your own spirit team is going to communicate, everybody's own spirit team is going to communicate with them the most impactful way that they know how to connect with you. All right? And so that's what they do. So, you can ask them just to step in and give you the clarity, and you can start to learn how they communicate with you. Like, my spirit team is very comical because I have a lot of humor in my life, so they're pretty comical with me, and that's because I relate that way, and so they relate to me that way. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. I gotta tell you, I just love it. Yes. I definitely have a relationship with my spirit team. They're my business partners too. They guide me every step of the way. So it's very, very cool. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have. So let's see here. I got a couple more comments. It seems like we're rounding the corner here to the hour. Let's see. Jeanette says, I never used to be bothered by ambulances with lights and sirens coming. Now I get anxiety and can't talk. You know, guys, this brings up another thing. And I think what's happening, you're welcome, Princess Sophia. I think what's happening for a lot of people, no matter the spiritual journey or path we're on, again, we can, trust in spirit. I do. But we're human, and sometimes that's screaming at us so loud we can't get past it, right? I think that what's happening for a lot of us, to be honest, we're seeing a lot of things that are making us fearful. It's not a pretty world out there right now, and I think that's why a lot of us are starting to get anxiety. Things are triggering us like we never used to have it. So be as gentle and kind with yourself as you can. Remember that we can only affect what we can affect. So in other words, don't try and solve the world's problems. Take your little corner of the world and work in that space. So in other words, I cannot touch 7 billion people on this planet with the love and light that I love to share and give, right? The compassion and love that I work within, but I know I can do it with the people I can reach. And so I take some satisfaction and some solace in knowing that at least I'm doing my part of the world. But again, I think that'll help all of us if we can remember there's only so much we can do. So we do what we can do, and then the rest has to be up to, to me it's I say God. Okay, source, I am, the highest power, whatever you call that, but God's will. We can only do so much. And you can I pray to God that God's got this, and that's sometimes that's all we can do. It's as much as we can do. So just remember that. We can only have an effect on what we can have an effect on. Okay, and try to let go of the rest and do what you can in your world. That'll make you feel more accomplished, make you feel a little safer, hopefully. All right, so I hope that helped you. Tammy, you are quite welcome. All right, you guys. Wow, we got a minute to go. That was perfect, because some of you in the way beginning, you were so quiet. I'm like, what are we going to talk about? None of you are asking questions. You guys always seem to get kind of shy on me until about 7 to 10 minutes in, which is fine. But it just makes me laugh every time, because I find humor in a lot of things. That's how I get through life. So, you know what, Princess Sophia? I think that's going to have to be another topic, sweetheart. So if you'd like me to do that topic in one of the coming weeks, let me know. Tell me, drop it in the comments right now. Say, yeah, I'd like that. And if anybody else is interested in that, why does awakening take place and how long is the process, please? Let me know if you like that idea for, I don't know, next week's Table Talk or the week after that. I don't know, next couple weeks. Table Talk Thursdays. All right? So, to each and every one of you, as always, I hope you're liking and following my Elyse Ann Psychic page, and that you have your favorites, your notification set of favorites, so you don't miss any of my lives and my channel card messages that I post and all the good stuff I do. So, please take advantage of that, and, invite your friends to like and follow my page. You guys, I'm always giving out light and love the best I can. and the world needs more of it. So it can't hurt to have that many more people on my page following and liking me, because that is my mission and my purpose in this lifetime, is spread the religion of love and compassion like I believe Jesus did when he walked the earth. So anyhow, that's my little deal. Anyhow, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I had a great time. Lots of great questions. I love our open Q&A. I love all my lives, but I love the open Q&A because you guys have the greatest questions. And some of you challenge me well, and I love it. I love that my spirit team will always step up and give me answers too, so it's fabulous. So, let's see. I think I've done all the kind of like my promos and all that stuff. You guys know the drill. Anyhow, to each and every one of you, thank you so very much for being with me this evening. I'm so glad to be back in the game, you guys. Yesterday's live and today's live is really helping me to come out of my space, if you will. Still a little time to go on that, but I'll get, it's a work in progress always, right? So to each and every one of you, have a great rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world. Sending you lots of love, many blessings. I love you all. Have a great evening, day, morning, wherever you are. Be well, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks for being here with me, you guys. Bye. And now it won't stop. There we go. I kept clicking on it. It wasn't going to end. So what do I say? Okay, it's going to end now, you guys. It came up to end. Take good care. Thanks for being with me. Mwah. Bye, everyone.